Welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry. So, where we last left off, you know, unfortunately, uh, Balor got roped in to take part of the family conversation almost I want to say almost the entire night, but it got up to the point where it's like until midnight by now. And honestly, of all this dumb shit that's been happening for like within the entire Doom Echo I've been reading through, I do kind of feel bad for Balor for having to like partake in the mess. I mean, then again, he did got involved because he just wants to solve the epitaph out of curiosity, but it's not like he wants to be like partake in running part of the family. Then this whole finding the reason when it comes to Beatrice as to why she wanted to murder and all that stuff. Although it got to the conclusion where everything that Beatrice does is completely meaningless, like finding the gold for her, solving the riddle for her, pleasing her within the various aspects doesn't really do much. My I feel like the theories that I could probably come up with, and I kind of agree with Balor's, is like maybe Beatrice is doing it as a love letter to Balor, or that that's the thing though. Where is there's no like backstory when I mean there is some backstory for Balor, but there's no sin as to why, um, what sin Balor committed like 6 years ago. Is the sin was like not partaking part of the Ushiromiya family, or is it because he went to the fucking Rokujima Island by himself, or is it because that he didn't take Angie within the whole family conference type of thing going on? I don't know. Kind of questionable if you ask me. It's like it's always a mystery talking points to try to get to that. Anyway, for a while the two were pounded by questions, became relatives' playthings. Then a reserved knocking sound could be heard. All of the servants tended to knock in a similar manner, so no one found it strange. However, Shannon and Cannon turned around with surprised looks on their faces. The servants were today included the two of them, Genji, Kumasawa, and Goda. Goda had the midnight shift at the guest house. Kumasawa had gone to bed in a spare room in the guest house. The two of them were right here, so Genji was the only person left. But they knew very well that Genji wouldn't knock like that.
誰だ空いてるぜ。勝手に入れよ。
Rudolph didn't recognize the knock either. When he asked who is it, it became apparent that no one knew whose knock it was. After that, the same knock knock repeated just once more. Could it be that someone had their hands full and was asking that the door be opened for them? As a slightly odd feeling began to encompass the room, the sound of the large clock in the hall could be heard. It was a sign that October 4th had ended and October 5th had begun. Let's step back in time a bit. At this time, Kraus and Natsuki were a ways off in the deserted corridor on the second floor.
もうそれしか手はないのかね。
Gee, I wonder who was knocking on the door then. Could it be that, could it be Erica? Or is it because Kraus and Natsuki decided to, like, return back after finding some, I don't know. I don't know. Or did one of the Balor's cousins, like, woke up and saw the news of what's going on?
はい。明日一日同じではもはや通用しないでしょう。これ以上を渋ればエヴァさんたちは お父様を監禁しているなどと主張して警察に訴える可能性さえあります。
No, I don't think it's a valid cousin because in the beginning it said that all of his cousins are dead. So it can't be him.
もうこれが限界です。バトラ君が黄金を発見するのが全く想定外でした。あれさえなければなんとかうまくやりくりできる筋書きを考えていたのですが。
私がかけるといつもこうだな。いつも想定外のことが起き、絶対確実だった話がおかしくなる。
明日の朝、お父様の部屋が空っぽであるということにします。源氏と口裏を合わせ、早朝に森へ出かけていくのを見たと言わせましょう。
その思想をエヴァたちが素直に受け入れるとは思えん。
I mean, if he disappeared in the forest, that means these guys are gonna. Who is the question of who has the fucking balls to go to the forest?
客も承知です。しかし、もうそれしか手がありません。
そのようなことをすれば、エヴァたちは疑わしいと騒ぎ立てるだろう。エヴァたちは金をせしめるためなら、なりふりなど構わない。それこそおかしな雑誌とつるんで、私の信用にダメージを与えてくるかもしれない。
Yes. The narrative in the publication.
ダメージで済むではありませんか。万一にもお父様の秘密を知られたら、それどころでは済みません。
明日一日をギリギリまで粘ってからでも遅くはない。もしも明日を無事に乗り切ることができれば、私たちは何も失うものはないのだ。焦って失踪という切り札を切る必要はない。
彼らがお父様を監禁していると騒ぎ立て、そこに失踪していたと返すのですか。その方がはるかに疑いを招きます。もうお父様にお休みいただきましょう。これ以上は無理です。
落ち着きたまえ。エヴァたちの毒気を浴びすぎて冷静を失っただけだ。あの書斎に入る鍵は2本しかない。そしてその2本はここに君が持っている。だから誰も入ることなどできん。あの扉は特別性だ。彼らが倉庫からどんな工具を持ってこようともびくともせんよ。
そういう物理的な問題ではありません。
だから焦るな。落ち着け。なんなら君は熱を出したことにして寝込んでいてくれればいい。その間に私が全て乗り切ってみせる。
あなただけに任せられません。私も最後まで戦います。
When Natsuki could no longer hold back the tears brought on by her fierce emotions, Kraus held her gently. Just how long had it been since the last time she'd felt the warmth of her husband's compassion?
頭痛がひどいのだろう。君がそういうシワを眉間に浮かべるときはいつもそうだ。
あなた。
She had come to think that her husband could never guess the way she felt. But at times like this...
失踪という切り札は最後の最後まで待とう。殿下の報道と同じだよ。抜かないうちが花だ。 大事なのはいつでも抜けるという心構えではないかね。
それは分かっています。
その切り札を私に預けてくれんかね。もちろん最後の瞬間の責任は全て私が取る。君とジェシカは巻き込まん。
それはどういう意味ですか？
後ろ宮家が滅ぶ時にその瓦礫に潰されるのは私だけで十分だ。台風が過ぎたら離婚届を準備しよう。それに捺印し君に預けておく。内緒で君の名義にしてある財産がある。さらにそれに慰謝料を加えれば君とジェシカは不自由なく暮らせるはずだ。
嫌です。私の墓碑に刻むべき名は後宮夏日です。どうか最後の瞬間までご一緒に。たとえあなたが後宮家最後の当主であろうとも、夏日を最後までどうか当主夫人であなたの妻でいさせてください。
Krause's existence was founded solely upon the trust and power of his assets as a financial fixer. If either of those weakened, nothing would remain. If they used the trump card of Kinzo's disappearance, they would lose one of these two essential supports. It was like offering your right arm in exchange for your neck being cut. It was probably better than losing your head, but you still might die from the blood loss. And even on the off chance that you did survive, you'd have to bear a heavy wound that wouldn't heal for the rest of your life. Krause was prepared even for death. Understanding this, Natsuki buried her face in Krause's chest and cried.
Oh,
god damn it. Oh, of course you're gonna pop up and ruin the moment. The sudden appearance of Genji's voice made Natsuki jump back and hurriedly wipe the tears from her eyes. Krause stood in front of Natsuki, shielding her.
Genji-san ka.
Ain't that pretty, considerate?
驚かせないでくれたまえ。何か用かね？はい。
Huh? What do you got for us?
申し訳ございませんが、奥様にご報告が。
What?
私にですか？あなた。
構わんよ。
Krause left Natsuki's side, went to a window a short ways off, and gazed at the windy and rainy rose garden. Natsuki went with Genji to a place a short distance away.
何事ですか？
はい。実はまた奥様にお電話が。
Another phone call? Oh no, is this the same Edgelord? At that moment, a sudden eerie sound surprised her. It was the large clock in the hall announcing 2400 hours.
まさかまたあの男なのですか？
はい。いかがいたしましょう。
要件は何だと言っていますか？
お答えいただけません。奥様と直接お話ししたいとの一点張りでございます。
Again, a phone call from the man who claimed to be taking revenge for something that happened 19 years ago. 19 years ago. That was just 1 year before Jessica and Badler were born. In Natsuki's eyes, the gap between 19 years ago and 18 years ago was immense. For a long time, she had been unable to fulfill her role of creating success, of creating successor for the Ushiromiya family and had been treated very coldly. But then she finally gave birth to Jessica and became able to call herself the Ushiromiya successor's wife with her head held high. So in her eyes, Ushiromiya Natsuki began 18 years ago. That's why everything before that, including the events of 19 years ago, contained nothing but hateful memories. But and something from the last year of that hateful period is whispering vengeful words from the other end of the phone. I can still hear the roar of the sea.
いかがなさいますか
Well, what the fuck did she do? That was like 19. I mean, she abandoned someone that is supposedly her son. So, according to that edgy kid,
私の部屋に転送しなさい。主人には内密に。
かしこまりました。
from the very beginning, Genji had guessed that she wouldn't want Krause hearing about this phone call. That's why he had told Natsuki covertly. Natsuki ordered that he transfer the call, told Krause that she would turn in for the night, and left at a quick pace. Let's see what the phone call is about. She returned to her room and locked the door. There was nothing peculiar about that. In the Ushiromiya family, hallways are like public roads. There's no special meaning in locking the door when you enter your own room. This is what she told herself. Then, as though it had been waiting for her, the telephone rang. Genji had probably transferred the call. She took a deep breath, readied herself, and picked up the receiver.
もしもし。
Let's see. What kind of edgelord gonna say this time? Again, it started with silence. She realized that the person at the other end was trying to irritate her and make her feel uncomfortable, and she got angry.
どうして黙っているのですか。切ります。
切るなよ、母さん。もう少し声を聞いていたいんだからさ。
Again, that unpleasant voice.
私を愚弄する気ですか。要件を追いなさい。
母さんと遊びたい。
は？何を言っているんですか、あなたは。私はあなたとなど遊びたくありません。
親族会議で疲れたんだろ。持病の頭痛がだいぶ辛いんじゃないかい。
余計なお世話です。
Wait. How is he able to... Okay, I guess he's somewhere on the fucking island. I bet he's seeing all of this with some fucking binoculars or something. Just the fact that he knew her headache was troubling her made a shiver run up her spine.
頭痛になるのは頭が凝ってるからだ。そのままベッドに入ったっていい夢は見られないよ。
だから余計なお世話だと言っています。切りますよ。
Natsuki forcefully yelled that she was hanging up, but in actuality, she couldn't. After all, being at the receiving end of the phone call was much better than the alternative. If she hung up violently, this person might then call someone else.
頭のこりをほぐすためにちょっとだけ遊ぼうよ。
Is this a kind of game where, like, if you have a problem with the family conference, why don't you just murder them?
何？時間は取らせないよ。
Because this sounds like some edgelord Danganronpa shenanigans.
あなたと遊ぶ気などありません。
母さんの名前はナツヒ。名前に季節を持ってるね。いい名前だ。でもナツヒだからって夏が好きとは限らない。母さんが本当に好きな季節は何だい？
それをあなたに教えると思いますか？
教えてくれないなら俺が切るよ。いいのかい？
It was clearly a threat. It meant that if she forced him to hang up the phone, anything might happen. Humiliated that she was forced to give in to a threat made by a man whose name she didn't even know, she gave him the answer he wanted.
秋です。
どうして？
過ごしやすい季節だからです。他に特に理由はありません。これで満足ですか
？Why? What the fuck do you mean, why?
ああ、満足だ。やっぱり母さんの好きな季節は俺と同じだったよ。俺も秋が好きなんだ。
嘘つき。出任せを言うんじゃありません。
Surely this man would have done the same thing no matter which season I said I liked. What is he after? What's so fun about making me uncomfortable like this?
嘘つきなんてひどいな。
Someone a liar.
任せなんかじゃない。
Oh, whoops. I clicked up.
俺は母さんが秋が好きだって確信してたよ。証拠を見せてほしい。
証拠？
ああ。母さんの部屋に時計はあるかい？
時計？ええ、ありますが、それが何か。
In Natsuki's room, there was a beautiful antique clock with an intricate design. Krause had bought it for her as a birthday present long ago.
今は0時7分ですね。もう眠いので茶番を早く終わらせなさい。
その時計持ち上げてみてよ。
どうしてです？
いちいちうるせえな。俺の言うことにお前は歯向かうんじゃない。黙って言われた通りにすればいい。
You're the one who fucking called up the fucking phone in the first place, and I'm questioning as to your fucking motives. Like you sound like some fucking edgelord who uses the fucking dark web as often. It's a bit of a parasocial behavior, if you ask me. The tone of the man's voice suddenly went low, turning into a threat. It made his displeasure clear. At first, this man seemed to have a calm way of speaking, but on the inside, that wasn't the case at all. If she enraged this man even a little more, he would surely show his true nature right away. I mean, sounds like internet trolling, if you ask me.
そんなに電話を切られない。こうしてあんたに電話をしてるうちが花なんだ。あんたが19年前にしたことを俺はいつだってあんたの旦那や娘に話すことができるんだ。
あなたが何の話をしているか知りませんが、夫や娘を巻き込まないでください。こうして私が電話を聞いていますから。
言われた通りにしやがる。
Once again, the man threatened her in a low voice, as though warning her not to interrupt again. My head was filled with the pain from my headache, the sound of my beating heart, and the roar of the sea. I can't disobey him anymore. As the man had ordered, I lifted up the antique clock. There lay what happened to be a single playing card. Huh? Is it the warranty for the clock? Thinking this, she took it and turned it over. What the fuck?
嬉しいですって言ってほしいな、この人殺しめ。よくも潔癖な奥様面ができるもんだぜ、ヘドがね。そのヘド、あんたの夫や娘にもぶちまけられたいかね。嫌だろう。黙っててほしいだろ。ああ、黙っててやるよ。ほら、嬉しいだろ。嬉しいだろ。
嬉しいです。嬉しいです。だからやめて。夫と娘に構わないで。何が要求ですか？お金ですか？いくらですか？
I don't think money is ever. I don't think the whatever amount of money is not gonna fucking help.
金なんか欲しくないよ。俺の傷は金をいくら使って癒せない。だが薬なら。そうだな。それは軟膏みたいだ。
An ointment.
ねっとり、ドロドロ、糸を。それはあんたへ、俺の裏、縁。そいつを塗ってるしか、痛みが抑えられないんだよ。
So the undying methods of spite. Natsuki had never had anything so hateful said to her in her entire life, so she suspected many times that she must be having some sort of bad dream. However, this definitely wasn't a dream.
あなたはまさかこの島にいるのですか？
ああ、約束しただろう。親族会議には出るって。
不可能です。この台風では来られるわけもありません。
台風になる前から来てれば問題はないよ。それに台風の最中であってもエリカとかいう来客があったはずだ。
Is this Edgelord like part of association with Erica? This kind of story feels so fucking fabricated, if you ask me. Her blood froze. Furuto Erica had supposedly been brought here by coincidence. If he knew that name, he would have to be very close by.
あなたはどこに？
あんたの紹介がないうちは誰の前にも現れないさ。安心しな。もっと俺を探しても無駄だよ。あんたの屋敷は広い。電話だってそこいら中にあるしな。あんただって俺に会いたくないだろ。それとも俺を見つけ出してみんなに紹介してくれるのか。 ジェシカにも紹介してくれよ。一つ上の兄ですってな。
やめて、ジェシカに構わないで。
怖がらせすぎたかな。今夜はこれで勘弁してやるよ。だが忘れるな、あんたは俺に逆らえない。分かってるな、母さん。今夜はこれで電話を切るが、明日の朝まで命令がある。
何ですか？
あんたは今夜もうその部屋を出てはならないし、どこにも電話をかけてはならない。電話がかかってきても取ることも許さねえぜ。そして今すぐ明かりを消し、布団をかぶって寝ろ。そしていつもの時間に起床しろ。健康的な生活でいいな。母さんの体をいたわるなんて、本当に俺は親孝行者だよ。
I'm pretty sure I know one Vietnamese GBF player that makes that sort of cackling of a laugh. Man, look at this paragraph. This sounds like this sounds like a very passive-aggressive way of like showing concern for your own parent.
わかりました。今すぐ寝ます。部屋も出ません。電話も出ません。だから夫と娘には。
母さんが俺の命令を守る限り、あんたの秘密は守ってやるよ。命令を破るなよ。俺はもうお前のすぐ近くにいる。部屋の明かりが消えるかどうか、そして電話をしているかどうかさえ、俺には手を取るように分かる。俺さえ望んだら、あんたの寝顔にキスすることだってできる。
Stalker behavior.
守ります。約束は守ります。だからやめて。もうやめて。やめて。
As she screamed, Natsuki took the card she had found under the clock and crushed it up into a little ball. It had a pattern on it like a tarot card, and also something the kanji for autumn. Well, he sounded like a fucking pleasant human being, like always. Let's see. So, it's either some edgelord sent who was addicted to the dark web, or maybe what if it was Battler? Because the voice sounded kind of similar, if you ask me. Unless like the Red Truth later on, or whatever Truth say, like, oh, this is not Battler. Because the voice sounded very familiar, and if that's actually the case, and you sure did a good job in actually like make Natsuki fall for the bait. Because that's pretty fucking weird, if you ask me. I question that most of the time. Let's step back in time once again. Right now, it is the exact moment that the large clock in the hall announced 2400 hours. Wondering who the person who knocked twice was, The relatives in the dining hall stared at the door. Rudolph told them to come in, but there was no answer. Until the end of that long tone marking the arrival of 2400, which had come from the large clock in the hall shortly after the knock, they were unable to move in the slightest.
手が塞がってて開けられないんじゃないのか。
かもな。だが名乗らねえってのが薄気味悪いな。
So maybe the edgelord who has like an undying spite is the way to take it out from it for a revenge plot is to kill them. That's kind of a funny way of like a shenanigans, ain't it? I mean, it does tend to happen to like in real life. So.
開けますか。開けなさい。
I'm gonna open. Oh boy. Cannon nodded back, then slowly opened the door. Oh shit.
それは。
これは親父の封筒？
One of father's envelopes. Right behind the open door, on the floor of the hallway, lay the envelope.
廊下には誰もいません。
Oh, look on his face.
これを置いて立ち去ったのでしょうか。
Oh. The adults flew out into the corridor as well, but they could find no trace of anyone who might have knocked on the door. Just about an hour ago, Shannon and Cannon had come in to serve tea. At that time, everyone had seen that nothing lay in that spot. Someone came, knocked, left an envelope with the mark of the one-winged eagle on it, and left.
まさか親方様でしょうか。
考えられない話じゃないわ。この屋敷で誰と呼ばれて返事をしないのはお父様くらいだもの。ありえないわ。ならどうしてお父様は堂々と入ってこないの？
そうやな。お父さんだったらノックなどせずいきなり入ってくるやろな。今この屋敷は戸締まりがされとるんやろ。ならここに手紙を置くことができるんはクラウスさんか夏日さん、そして源氏さんの誰かしか考えられんで。
By this point, the mansion had been completely locked up. Therefore, the cousins in the guest house, Nanjo, Golda, Kumasawa, and Erika could not have come here. Furthermore, since Kraus, Natsuhi, and Genji were the only three who weren't in this room, one of those three had to have been the one who set that letter down in the corridor. So, it was very likely that Kraus and the others had placed the letter there to make it seem like a message from Kinzo.
なるほどね。お父様の名を語ってバトラ君を次期当主に認めないみたいなことが書いてあるのよ。バカバカしい。兄さんめ、よくもこんな子供騙しを。
別に俺は次期当主なんて興味ねえぜ。
Yes, we already know that. I already know this, but
諦めろ。それがお前の運命なんだよ。とにかく中身を読んでみようじゃねえか。
Rudolph set the letter on the dining hall table and let everyone see the front and back to show that there were no tricks or hidden mechanisms, almost like a magician does before performing his act.
この封筒は間違いなくお父様の封筒なの？ええ、間違いないわ。お父様が神書に好んで使う封筒よ。どう、シャノンちゃん。
はい。私の目にも親方様が使われる封筒に見えます。
だからってお父様が書いたってことにはならないわよ。兄さんならお父様の書斎の引き出しからひょいと手に入れることなんて造作もない話だわ。
クラウス様とて容易に書斎には入れません。封筒を盗み出すなど難しいことかと。
I mean, it could be a possibility. Either Kraus borrowed the study room key from Natsuki and opened it that way, or maybe Natsuki was told by Kraus to do it. So, I mean, again, that's a guess, not a possibility that could lead to it.
開けてみようぜ。それから考えても遅くないはずだ。
Yeah, worry about the accusations later.
何か入ってるね。なんだろうな。
Rudolph opened the envelope a bit roughly. Then a folded letter and a glittering object fell out. It was a ring.
え？ちょっと、その指輪。
Yes, it's the ring of the family head. Eva noticed it immediately and grabbed at it.
これ、お父様の指輪よ。当主の指輪だわ。
なんやて？ほんまか？
間違いなくお父様の指輪なの？レプリカということは？
I mean, I don't think there's a thing. I don't think you can. I don't think there's a thing called 3D printers in the 80s. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, someone must have grabbed it from the fucking future by then.
これは本物よ。私はいつかこの指輪を自分の指に通してやるとずっと夢見てきたのよ。お父様が指にしてた時から私は誰よりもこの指輪のことをよく知ってるわ。これはお父様の指輪よ、間違いなく。どうしてここに？
じゃあやっぱりこの手紙はお父様が。
こりゃ差出人は親父じゃねえぞ。もっと面白い。
じゃあ誰からの手紙だってんだ？
That's a good question.
後ろ宮家顧問錬金術師黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ様からだぜ。
Sounds like you know about your wits there. Rudolph showed everyone the part of the letter where that was written. It really did say that.
ベアトリーチェから？
なんて書いてあるの？
読むぞ。Congratulations。
Congratulations.
バトラ様が碑文の謎を見事に解かれ、黄金鏡にたどり着きましたことを認めます。黄金はすべてバトラ様のものです。そして後ろ宮家の新しき当主もバトラ様です。その証として金蔵様よりお預かりしている当主の指輪をお送りします。
What a surprise.
どうぞバトラ様、指輪をされて新しい黄金の主となり、どうか後ろ宮家をお導きください。新しき当主のご活躍を心よりお祈りいたしております。なんてこった。 親父が書斎から出てこねえもんだから、森の魔女ベアトリーチェが直接バトラーを認めてくれたわけだ。
It's a bit of a surprise.
バトラ君、この指輪はあなたが持つのよ。これが当主が身につけるべき特別な指輪。ベアトリーチェが何者か知らないけれど、彼女は一部始終を見届け、あなたが真の跡継ぎだと認めてこの指輪を送ったのよ。
Seems like it.
いいんすか、こんな重要な指輪を。
I mean, it's not like a collector's item or anything. It's a fucking important source of hierarchy. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what it's like to have Battler being the monarch.
ああ、いいんだ。誇らしげに指にはめるといい。いいか、兄貴や夏日さんが外せと言っても絶対に外すんじゃねえぞ。
All of the relatives, with creepy smiles on their faces, urged Battler to put the ring on his finger. If you like it when you should have put a ring on it. It looked like things would get pretty nasty if he refused, so Battler reluctantly decided to put it on the middle finger of his left hand. What, he's not gonna put it on his ring finger? He's gonna put it straight on the middle finger, huh? With his left hand. The ring was heavy and stiff. Oh shit. At that moment, Kraus returned. Genji came back as well, shortly behind him.
申し訳ないね。妻は具合が悪そうだったので先に休ませてもらった。何かあったのかね。なんだか諸君がひどく慌ただしいようだ。
Oh, you missed everything that time. You missed out on everything.
バトラ様、それは。
Immediately, Genji keenly spotted that which Battler had just put on his finger.
さすが源氏さんや。お目が高い。
Uh-oh.
これが誰の指輪かわかるようやな。
何？
He's like, what the fuck?
何の話だね。
Oh boy, he's gonna lose his shit. Judging by Kraus's dubious expression, it seemed unlikely that he was the one who placed the letter there. Furthermore, that expression quickly changed into one of shock.
そうよ、後ろ宮家当主の指輪よ。
The family conference took up this new topic, and the storm came once again. Ah, shit, here we go again. The clock moves forward. The rain was still pouring down as hard as ever. This weather was supposed to continue all day tomorrow as well, which made me feel a bit depressed. Oh wait, given the time, I should say today, not tomorrow. But that doesn't really matter now. I mean, it's past midnight. It might as well be like today. I should say today, not tomorrow, but that doesn't really matter now. I'm sleepy. With half-asleep eyes, I opened my umbrella. The large drops of rain pounded mercilessly against it. Technically, the end of the family conference had been declared at 1 a.m., but external scuffles kept continuing sluggishly. I'm really jealous of Aunt Rosa, who managed to slip out of there at that time. She cleverly got away by saying that she'd check on Maria, who might have been staying up too late. 'Cause 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 'c Dad caught me, ruining my chance to escape. They made me stick around until now, 3 a.m. Wow. I feel bad for him already. God. That sounds insane. I mean, I'm a bit of an insomniac too. And sleep deprived. But man, imagine having to stay up just to deal with the kind of like family porno nonsense. So, what have they decided on after all this time? Nothing at all. They just kept on arguing about who said what, like elementary school kids. I'm sure they're tired too. Jesus Christ. That's just insane. They're tired too. Ain't that a bitch. That's probably why why they keep dragging on with the same pointless questions. I no longer felt any shock or anger towards them. I guess drowsiness is the best painkiller. I left them behind and finally returned to the guest house. It's about fucking time. Finally. Safe and sound. When I got back to the guest house, the first floor lounge was lit. I could even hear people chatting inside. Apparently, some people were still awake even this late. Is that so? Despite the late hour, Goda-san and Dr. Nanja were still up and chatting. Plates and cups were lined up on the counter, and it looked almost like a bar with Goda-san as the bartender. When they noticed I had returned, they seemed to finally realize how late it was. When Goda-san made to top off Dr. Nanja's glass, the latter declined with an exaggerated gesture.
もう結構です。この時間では夜更かしのしすぎだ。
もうこんな時間とは。南條先生があまりにお話がお上手なもので、ついつい。
それを言ったらあんたの酒の魚のおかげだ。
It's all thanks to the liquor.
また別の機会に一杯やりましょう。
喜んで。バトラー様、お帰りなさいませ。
Yes, hello.
まだ旦那様方の会議は続いておりますか？
Well, seems like it. I mean, I was the one who had to be dragged into this mess the whole time.
あの調子でグダグダと明け方までやるんだろうぜ。
Damn, they're pulling an entire all-nighter? That's crazy. Oh, lordy. Well, what to do with these fucking grown-ass older adults? Like, this isn't the first time they did that, or the second time, or the third time. This is probably more than several times by now. Oh, boy. What to do with that kind of shit.
知ったことじゃねえぜ。
None of my business. Oh, you know, if only, you know, you would fall. I'm pretty sure they won't even let you fall asleep. I spoke carelessly with a big yawn.
皆さん、案外体力が終わりですね。
Oh, it's Erica.
びっくりです。
なんだ、お前までいたのか。
He's like, oh, you're still awake?
なんとなく流れで、こちらでささやかな夜会が始まったもので、混ぜてもらっていました。例のことは話してませんのでご安心を。
The look on his face is like, I don't know about that. Erica could be seen on the sofa. She had taken her shoes off and was lounging around as though she owned the place.
エリカ様も本当にいろいろなお話をご存知で、とても楽しく聞かせていただきました。
I mean, considering how like Erica took her shoes off like indoors. I mean, she does say she knows a lot about Eastern tradition. So, like, I mean, it's not surprising like her taking her shoes off indoors. Like, like almost entirely the Asian household does that type of shit. I mean, unless you're like in America or something like that, where, but you know.
あんたは本当に博識だ。若いのに大したもんだよ。
どういたしまして。フルドエリカはこの程度には博識ですので。
Erica grabbed the corners of her skirt and posed. This was somewhat less than graceful considering that she was lounging on the sofa with her feet up.
ローザおばさんは午前の1時頃にお戻りになりましたが、すぐに上がられお休みになられました。
That's probably true. After taking part in that conference for so long, I feel like flopping down in bed right away myself. I've had it. I'm tired enough that I might flop over right here.
さあ、私たちもこれくらいにしましょう。郷田さんも明日の朝食の準備で朝が早いのでしょう。
朝食の仕込みはすでに済んでおります。どうぞ明日の朝食も大いにご期待いただければ幸いです。
In the Goda-san's eyes, the family conference is an open stage on which to display his culinary skills. Maybe this invigorates him so much that he doesn't even get sleepy. Erica stood up, laughing at how youthful Goda was. This became a sign that it was time to disperse.
お片付けは私の方でしておきます。どうぞ皆様はお休みを。
Leaving the cleanup to Goda-san, I went to the bathroom and then climbed the stairs to the second floor.
それでは皆さんおやすみなさい。老骨にはちっと夜更かしが過ぎましたな。
おやすみなさい、南條先生。おやすみなさい、バトラさん。
おう。おやすみ。
Then, in the second floor hallway, we split up. Dr. Nanjo went to his own room. Erica went to her room. And I returned to the cousin room. I couldn't hear any sounds of playing coming from our room. Could they have fallen asleep already? No surprise at this time of night. If they were still playing, they would have been staying up way too late. Alright. That's a good time to leave it in from here. Oh man. Bit of a interesting experience from here. Next part. Let's see if Battler goes to bed and forget all the dumb stuff that's been happening from last night. So, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one.